So I recently got into renting movies. There's a specialty shop on Commercial Drive where I live. It's not that close, but I started renting movies there. So I got Hatchet III. If you're unfamiliar, the Hatchet movies are these schlocky throwback to slasher movies, all directed by and written, I think, by Adam Green. So the first one was okay. The second one also okay, but they did a recast. Hatchet III takes place immediately after the events of Hatchet II. Our main character, Marybeth, has just defeated Victor Crowley at the end of the second film, and she goes into a police station to, turn herself in. So the main bulk of the characters this time around is a sheriff's department and some SWAT team members. There's a cool cameo from Derek Mears. Overall, this one was simply okay. There's some nice, more funny, memorable characters among the police officers, including a cowardly guy who packs a bazooka. There's a newbie girl. There's the Derek Mears character. There's some other guys too, but Marybeth kind of takes a backseat to her own movie. She's supposed to be the final girl, but overall, it was kind of just it's supposed to be the end trilogy movie. It was only okay, to be honest. I think the reason why I'm not too fond of the Hatchet movies as much as other slashers is because Victor Crowley, I do like the legend and like the supernatural aspect, but the kills are just too over the top to be considered scary. It's like watching a kid with a dart run up to a balloon full of red paint and it blows up. It's not scary. It's not realistic at all. It's just, the effects are not, top notch because it's not like the highest budget of movies. I don't know the budget of this one, but I think the first one was only $2.5 million, and this one was probably around the same. I would say under $5 million. It's not micro budget, but it's got some money. And overall, yeah, I mean, some of the kills are very underwhelming. And they try to do some stuff with the bazooka and this and that. But overall, yeah, it just feels like the characters are there to waste time. There is a character that they introduce who's pretty funny, who survives. And so, yeah, overall, Hatchet III, yeah, it wasn't that amazing. It was okay. It was really over the top. And, yeah, it definitely doesn't rank above my favorites in terms of slasher movies. So I give it a 5 out of 10. Victor Crowley is the fourth movie of the Hatchet series. There's rumors to be a fifth. But this one's called Victor Crowley because it is a sort of reboot of sorts. A decade after the events of Hatchet III, the survivor Andrew Young has been profiting off of that by creating a book called I, Survivor. He claims that he single-handedly defeated Victor Crowley himself and tried to save everyone else, but he was the only one left. So he's on a talk show where he's getting roasted by a woman who happens to be his ex-wife. He's got a pill-popping manager. And the humor really works this one around. This movie is actually pretty good. All the films are written by Adam Green, but this one manages to find the right balance between humor and horror, and also better characters by switching the main character from Marybeth to now Andrew. We're getting a redemption arc, and we're getting a lot better humor. A lot of the Hatchet movies have humor that just tries too hard or just doesn't work. But I think he found the right balance with this character. He's very anxious. He's, he's a coward really, and he's offered a large amount of money to go back to the swamp to do a true crime sort of special. So he can't resist it. Meanwhile, there's this small trio of young filmmakers that want to make their own Victor Crowley movie. So they're doing a tour guide with an eccentric wannabe actor. So the movie starts off really funny because it's mostly we get an opening kill that doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter. But we mainly get a sort of we're exploring Andrew in the last 10 years, ever since being from the swamp and everything. And the plane crashes into the swamp, and they're found by that film crew, and basically they have to survive Victor Crowley coming back. And this time the characters are a lot more eccentric. Some of them are very memorable. For example, the film crew, the trio of film crew people are really, really enjoyable. Them and Andrew and the actor are great, but everyone on the plane was kind of lame. There's this weird thing going on where before the plane crashes, all these characters start talking to Andrew, And there's like this whirring sound, really bad audio for those. I could barely hear those conversations. But those characters on the plane were not very interesting. After the plane crashes, the movie turns into a sort of, we're stuck in there and Crowley's trying to get us. It does have some over-the-top kills. Some of them are really good, some of them are not. But overall, I really liked how there's a redemption arc. Lots of people yelling in each other's faces, lots of conflict. There's a lot more going on than just Victor Crowley's trying to get us. I really like that added touch of character development, which was kind of lacking from Marybeth from the last two films. The movie does still have a signature like super gory kills, but they sort of rebooted it and sort of gone back to its roots of just a hapless group of people using their environment to try to stop an unstoppable Bayou Butcher. So Victor Crowley is my favorite movie out of the four, to be honest. It's really rock solid. It definitely feels like a fresh new entry in the genre, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot. So I give Victor Crowley a 7 out of 10.